Hello, friends, and welcome back to my kitchen. First, take 5 eggs and break them into a large bowl. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt to the eggs. Today, I'm excited to share a recipe of potato and ground beef casserole topped with vibrant vegetable garnish. And whisk the eggs until everything is nicely blended. Set this aside. We'll come back to it soon. Now let's heat a generous drizzle of olive oil in a large frying pan. Here I have 3 pounds, or 1,300 grams, of potatoes that I cut into small, even cubes. Friends, please write in the comments what country and city are you from. It's very nice to know that we can communicate all over the world. Add potatoes to the hot pan and let them fry until they reach a lovely golden brown. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. As they cook, season the potatoes with 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Giving them a good stir to ensure everything is evenly coated. Fry the potatoes until they're completely tender and cooked through. This will take a few minutes, so keep an eye on them and stir from time to time. When the potatoes are ready, transfer them into a large mixing bowl. Now, pour in the beaten eggs we prepared earlier. Gently mix until the eggs coat each piece of potato. This step will help bind everything when it bakes, creating a wonderfully satisfying texture. Next, take a baking dish lined with parchment paper and spoon about 2/3 of our potato and egg mixture into the bottom. Now add some olive oil to the pan. And once it's hot, add 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef. We cook the beef until it's browned and starts to release its juices. If you have any questions about the recipe, write to me and I will answer as soon as I see it in the comments. While that cooks, finely chop 1 onion. Friends, I'd be happy if you could give this video a like, as it's the best reward from you. Add it to the pan once the beef is well browned. Then grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. add them to the pan. For seasoning, add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Stir everything well to distribute the spices evenly. Let the mixture cook for about 10 minutes until all the flavors have mingled beautifully and the onions are softened. Now we'll assemble the casserole. With our potato base in the baking dish, we'll use a spoon to create a well in the center. This space will hold our delicious filling. Now, for an extra layer of flavor, we'll add pieces of cheddar cheese right on top of the beef. You can cut the cheese as shown in the video, so each slice will melt and give the casserole that irresistible, creamy texture. Finally, cover everything with the remaining third of our potato and egg mixture, pressing down gently to seal the edges. The dish is ready to go into the oven. Bake at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. For the garnish, heat a bit of olive oil in a clean pan. First, take 1 peeled zucchini and chop it into small cubes. Add the zucchini to the pan and let it start to soften. Next, chop 1 onion. Add it to the zucchini once it's tender. Then finely chop 8 mushrooms. add them to the pan. Stir everything well and let the mushrooms cook until they release their moisture and start to brown. Now, finely chop 2 cloves of garlic. Add them to the mixture. Let that garlic infuse into the vegetables for a moment, giving everything a quick stir. Next, cut 1 bell pepper into small cubes. Add it to the pan, stir and cook just until the pepper softens, maintaining its bright color and slight crunch. For a final touch of freshness, finely chop a bunch of parsley. Add it into the mix. Then grate 2 ounces or 60 grams of Parmesan cheese. This cheese will add a bit of richness to our vegetables. Give it all one last mix. And our vegetable garnish is complete. Now it's time to check on our casserole. After 30 minutes, take it out of the oven and let it cool slightly before cutting into it. You'll see those beautiful layers of potatoes, beef, and cheese, all held together perfectly. To serve, cut 2 generous slices and plate them alongside a portion of the vegetable garnish. The potatoes are golden and soft, the beef is flavorful, and the vegetables add a wonderful, colorful freshness. I hope you enjoy this dish as much as I do. It's a perfect meal for sharing, and I'm sure it will bring a smile to everyone around the table. But that's not all. I have a second, no less delicious recipe for you. In a frying pan, melt half a stick of butter. That's about 60 grams. While butter is melting, finely chop 1 onion. Toss it into the pan. Let it fry until it turns soft and golden. Next, finely chop 1/4 of a young cabbage. If you have any questions about the recipe, write to me and I will answer as soon as I see it in the comments. Now, place the cabbage into a bowl. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, and use your hand to squeeze the cabbage. This helps soften it and brings out its flavor. Once it's softened, add the cabbage to the frying pan with the onion. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. Next, we're going to grate 1 carrot. Add the carrot to the pan with the onion and cabbage, and let everything fry together for about 4 to 5 minutes. The vegetables should soften and get that wonderful caramelized color. When it's ready, remove the pan from the stove and set it aside. Take 4 slices of toast bread and cut them into cubes. Friends, I'd be happy if you could give this video a like, as it's the best reward from you. Toss the bread cubes into a large bowl and pour in 4 fluid ounces, or about 120 milliliters, of milk. Mix it well. so the bread soaks up all that liquid. To this, add 2 pounds or 900 grams of ground beef. Then grate 5 ounces or 150 grams of cheese on a coarse grater. Add it to the bowl. Now it's time for the seasonings. Add 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, crack 3 eggs into the mixture, finely chop a bunch of green onions, and also add it to the bowl. Give everything a good stir, making sure the bread, meat, cheese, and seasonings are well combined. Next, we'll add the vegetables from the frying pan, the cabbage, onion, and carrot, to the ground beef mixture. Mix everything together thoroughly. This combination is what makes these meatloaf patties extra juicy and flavorful. Now let's prepare the potatoes. Take about 2 pounds or 1 kilogram of young potatoes and fill it with water. Add a pinch of salt. Cover with a lid and cook for about 10 minutes. We don't want the potatoes fully cooked yet. They'll finish cooking later. While the potatoes are cooking, we'll prepare the onions for the base of our meatloaf patties. Take 2 onions and cut them into half rings. Place them in a large bowl. Pour boiling water over the onions until they're fully covered. Add 2 teaspoons of sugar, 4 fluid ounces, or 120 milliliters of white grape vinegar. Let this sit for about 10 minutes. This will give the onions a lovely tang and sweetness. Once the onions are ready, pour some vegetable oil into a baking dish. Drain the onions and spread them evenly at the bottom of the dish. Now, take the meat mixture and form 2 large meatloaf patties. Place them on top of the onions and pop the dish into the oven. Bake at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. Next, in a small bowl, mix together 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Stir everything well. After 40 minutes, take the patties out of the oven. Use a brush or spoon to spread this glaze generously over the top of each patty. Then, return them to the oven for another 20 minutes. The glaze will caramelize beautifully, giving the patties a rich, glossy finish. While the patties finish baking, let's go back to our potatoes. Drain the water from the saucepan and let the potatoes cool a bit. Then cut them into smaller pieces. Then in the frying pan, melt another half stick or 60 grams of butter. Once the butter is hot, add the potatoes and fry them until they're golden and crispy. Now cut 6 to 8 mushrooms into slices. And add them to the pan with the potatoes. Grate 3 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. Toss it in as well. Season with 1 teaspoon of salt. Finely chop a bunch of parsley. Add it to the pan. Fry everything together until the mushrooms are soft and the potatoes are crispy and golden. And that's it. Everything's ready. Take the meatloaf patties out of the oven. They should be golden, juicy, and perfectly glazed. Cut off a few pieces of this juicy patty and place them on a plate. Add a generous serving of those crispy, buttery potatoes with mushrooms. The flavors are just perfect together. The rich meatloaf, the sweet, tangy onions, and the hearty potatoes. Enjoy your meal. I hope you give this recipe a try. It's a comforting meal that your family will love. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more delicious recipes. I can't wait to cook with you again soon. Happy cooking